Welcome. My name is Kate Griffiths from Whole Self Leadership, and I'm coming on today because I want to talk to you about the next chapter, chapter 8 in our book, How Not to Be Afraid. Here it is, and it feels more important than ever at the moment with everything that's happening in our world and how that's making people feel, be they the Russians protesting or the Ukrainians that are being invaded, and everyone else in between. It's easy to get into a place of fear. And I know one young person asked their parent recently, are we about to get into World War III? And on a really practical note, there are a number of Spritzers that can help. And they are all the same colour, though different shades of that colour. And here we have one. And here is the next one. And here is the last one. And they're all slightly different shades of blue. And just notice which is your favourite. And if you leave me a comment at the end of the video below in the comments, then I will write you a message about what that particular one means. Or just say first, second or third. That's probably the easiest. So this particular chapter is fear of having a meaningless life. And interestingly, when I did a poll about 6 months ago, based on the 6 fears or more that Gareth talks about in his book, this fear was the biggest fear for people in our LinkedIn community. And I can really relate to that, as it was something that I used to feel myself. And I'm going to share a story. So when I was in my teens, I lived in Hong Kong part-time because I was at boarding school in England most of the time. And I would come back and I was very aware of all the Vietnamese refugees that had got to Hong Kong on dreadful little boats that virtually capsized, and then they were put in camps, and it felt awful, and I really didn't like it, and I felt very privileged living in a flat in a really nice area. We had everything we needed, and I said that I wanted to do something about it. And so my parents would ask me pretty much at least every week, if not every day, well, what have you done about it now? You know, have you rung anybody? But I didn't know who to call. I mean, I could have found out or I could have asked. And I guess what I know now is that I wasn't very confident. I was afraid. I froze. Because yes, I wanted to do something, but my fear was stronger than anything else. And fear comes from the head. And what we're invited to do, and is sometimes easier through the colour blue, is to go from the head and reside in the heart. Because when you are in your heart, you remember that you are not alone, that we are protected, we are safe, and that we're much more powerful than we ever realised. And actually we can and are, consciously or unconsciously, creating the world that we live in with every breath, with every thought that we have. And so that's what this chapter goes into. Gareth shares a story of his own, and then at the end he gives a couple of tips, and I'm going to sort of put my own take on those now. So even if you're not in our book group, the Conscious Conversations Book Club, you can do these tips. So what he's getting at here is to talk about finding what your purpose is, why you chose to be born at this time. And it is an exciting time to be born. And you might not have any idea, or you might have some idea. And start by, what are you known for? What do people comment on in terms of what your strengths are? Because that will give you a sense of why you are here and what's important. And if you're not sure, and even if you are, go out and ask people what it is they think about when they think of you. How would they define you? And it may be completely wrong, but it gives you a sense And then start to think about the people around you, the people that you care about most in this world. And maybe take a piece of paper and split it in half with a line down the middle. And on the left-hand side, write down what they would find, all the different actions or activities that they would find life-giving. And then on the other side, all the types of things that would close them down. And then fold it over so you only see the life-giving ones, and stick it on your pinboard or on your fridge and look at it every day, and maybe make a commitment to carry out one of those things for the people you love once a week or once a month, whatever you can manage. You don't have to even tell them. And if all of that seems really, really complicated and you want the fast track, then simply spend some time reflecting and asking yourself the question, whenever you remember, how can I be of greatest service? And listen for the answer and then take action. And before you know it, you will have found your purpose. And there's no better year for doing this, because this is the year of the water tiger, which is all about healing up any sense of inadequacy, any fear or shame that you feel, and leaving your mark. And that comes by sowing the first few seeds, and that can lead to amazing things. And if you'd like some help with that, then please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be your guide and to support you on that journey. So take care, and if nothing else, I highly recommend that you get the book How Not to Be Afraid by Gareth Higgins and give it a read. Bye for now.